Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razek at CMTrading. Today is March 26, 2019, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day, 4 o'clock South African time out of the United States, CB consumer confidence number coming out. That's a very important number. Really gives you like the spell of what the consumer sentiment is, how people are actually purchasing things, and it looks like the things are still pretty strong. And this is really a good indicator to let you know whether or not the economy is in expansion or detraction. And it seems like it's going to be a positive number, so just be aware that it is coming out at 4 o'clock South African time. Now, looking at the markets, Aussie dollar bounces nicely. Other majors are pretty much flat this morning. Looking at the indices, the Dow Jones bounces back yesterday. We'll take a look at that. In terms of the commodities, gold retraces as a result of the Dow Jones bouncing. It's still in an upwards trend. We'll take a look at that. And oil is steady, but not really bouncing. And lastly, looking at the stocks, the one that took it up was Facebook, incidentally. So it does look like it's changing character where the other stocks are not going up as strongly, and they were really the strong ones, like the Amazon, the Apple, and such, so on and so forth. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're taking a look here at the Aussie USD on a 4-hour chart. You can see this nice little bounce yesterday that we had to 7121. So, basically, the Forex symbols are really trading in a range, and I think it's because there's lack of vision or lack of forecast as to what the markets are going to actually play themselves out. So, as long as you're playing the areas, as long as you're playing the upper trends and the lower trends, meaning to say the upper range, and the lower range, you'll be making money. Okay, so with that said, looking at this Aussie USD, it does have some more way to go. The question is whether or not it's going to follow through, because in these type of markets, it's harder to actually make money. In less than, when it's not trending, when it's not trading in a nice follow-through kind of way, it has much harder environment to make money. Now, when these type of situations happen, what do? You focus on other things that are making money, okay, and that are having some sort of character that you can read in order to make some money. And so what are we talking about? Let's take a look at gold. Okay, gold has been in this upwards trend for quite some time. It's a bona fide trend, okay, from 1293 all the way up to 1315-ish level. We see that it's been trending upwards. It's been, every time it's retraced, it's actually honored the trend line and hasn't really closed below it. And so we have that situation right now. The question is how much further is this going to go? Okay, because about 2 months ago, the sentiment in the markets is, oh no, we're going to be in a recession. There's some fears in the market, so on and so forth. With that said, okay, Germany came out with its flash production numbers last Friday. So did France, and some cautionary tale there. Okay, it doesn't mean that we're going into recession necessarily just yet, but there was some cautionary tale. So when that happens, gold usually goes up, and sure enough, that's what happened last week. So this week we retraced a little bit, but again, as long as we're respecting the trend line, it should continue trending upwards, okay? Even if it has these moments that it retraces, I do expect it to challenge 1345 again. Not sure when, but as long as you're buying the dips, as long as you're buying the pullbacks, you're doing okay. So 1318, 1319, actually a decent place to actually buy it. At the upper range, we have a resistance at 1325. So at these levels, I would get in a little bit less aggressively, but I would get in to possibly have this upper challenging of this 1325. Now, again, today we're having consumer confidence. If the number comes out that it's fantastic at 4 o'clock, then you would look to short this, okay? Because ultimately the markets are going to change character and the Dow Jones is going to go up. Now, looking at that Dow Jones, okay, we had a nice little bounce yesterday to 25,680-ish level. And then we're tracing this morning to 26,225, 625. So with that said, okay, it is also a very choppy market here. Okay, the upper limit at 26,170, and we're trading at 25,622. There is way for this to go up higher. Now, again, we're having lack of follow through here, okay, which is a little bit disconcerting, but that's really the environment that we live in, okay? So it's more of a scalping kind of world. If the numbers comes out fantastic, we could see it go back up to the 26,000. no question, okay? But that has to really follow through. Now, looking at the NASDAQ yesterday, we kind of didn't bounce here, okay, which is a little bit question mark, okay? I don't want to say that it's that we're making a correction on the downside, but I'd like to see some sort of bounce here, because the ones that were strong were the computer components, were the internet components, the Apples, the Facebooks, the Amazon, all these type of stocks were the ones that really carried the market higher initially. And so I'd like to see this, continue its upwards momentum. Now, looking at Facebook yesterday, that was the one that bounced, okay? A funny thing that it changed its character, and you could see that it went from 163 to 166. Again, I'd like to see some follow through, all right? We kind of capitulated at this 159. As you can see, we've had this nice support level right here. So, the next place to really challenge it is at 173. Okay, so with that said, if we do get that follow through later today, I'd like to see that actually for 8. Now, Facebook has other issues that it's going through right now, regulatory issues as to what the future of it and how much will it be regulated. So, for it to break out to 195, not there yet, okay, but there is a resurgence of the computer tech stocks. Looking at Apple, okay, this is pretty much trading exactly like the NASDAQ, right? It looks exactly like it. 180, 188 right now, and we do have all the way to 197. So this could have been just a, taking profit. So I do expect somewhat of a bounce. Let's see if we actually get that today. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.